The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Audio, video.
Yep, audio video is good.
Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, guys. Ralph, Safel. How is London doing today, Safel?
Bill, good morning. It's this afternoon for them.
Oh yeah, that's right. How is London doing
This
today?
afternoon.
This afternoon.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, same here. It's been very good, actually. Yes. I'm surprised. This is one summer that has been really unique and nice since what? Maybe 2011, 12? 12, yes. Yeah. 2012, we had a very nice, hot, nice summer. This looks like it so far.
Yep, we got football today. Football.
Who's? Oh, yeah, football.
France and Belgium?
Belgium, yes. Yeah, France. And France is a very good team. Oh my God.
Yeah, France is really looking tough.
I follow their players individually, and they are solid.
Oh, they got a couple of guys that really run. Wow.
Yeah, nice. England, yes, I'm happy for England too. Uh, very happy. We have too many English supporters, English team supporters here in Guelph, where I live. It's nice. Good morning, Sir Juan. Okay, Daryl, I think you got out of the um, copper
Copper.
just
Yep, it
barely,
hit.
right? Exactly,
Yep, it hit me what 2 or 3 ticks from what you said last week.
exactly. Look at this here. Good job. You held the trade.
Yep, you
288
just
here.
yep.
Nice, nice. We got it from what 2.82?
Yep, 2.82.
2.8
It was actually last
here
Thursday. It jumped up, then fell back, and yep.
from here.
It's something that you develop over time, a little bit of patience sometimes, but it's not recommended for new students or anything like that. It's still got to control your risk.
Yeah, because the funds that are held overnight, they take most of your account if you have a small account.
Correct.
Yeah, leverage and.
It's just like your call yesterday on YM. It hit that 24,
Oh yeah, here,
780. Hit it
here,
right.
right here, and it bounced. It bounced down. Look at that. This
Yep.
was I said it's gonna get there, and it got there, and it bounced down. Um, good morning, Gary. We will have to
Good morning, Gary.
wait for. Let's see. Why is my okay? Audio's okay. Video's okay, folks. Okay. Let's see what we have. Today is Friday, July 13th. No, it's not. I'm joking. I wish. Uh, yes and yes. Let's see. We have today nothing really, no news. Morning, Patrick. Um, Sit back, relax. Crude is going crazy. I don't like the crude. It could go both ways. Yesterday, I figured it's going to go to 74.09 here, and I said after that 74.40, 74.50. It's in the recording if anybody made an effort to watch it, and it's there. So it got to 74.40 and 74.50. Look at this, but it's crazy the way it's moving, right? And that emphasizes on what Daryl says: patience, and trusting the method. Of course, in
Yeah.
any case, you have to protect yourself, always moving your stops, taking profits when it's due. For today, I am looking at this crazy dude here, crude, and I don't trust it. I have to wait for it to make a move, and I'm looking at both sides. Good morning, Patrick. I'm looking at I'm looking at my CFDs, and I'm looking at my futures volume, and I'm telling you, if we break above this price, let me change it to blue. I need to change everything to blue so I could, okay? If we break above, oh, didn't change. This line is your do or die right here. 74.40 is CL 74.40. 74.40 is our do or die level, meaning it is going to act like up or down from here. And as much as I prefer the down, it is very strong. We have a chance for it to go to this price, which is, ooh, where are you? Ooh, here. Okay. 77.70, I would say. Okay, do or die. And if it comes back down, if it's kind enough and decides to come back down, let me look at a smaller frame. We have 74, again, 74, 73. Here, let me just look at this. $73.40, $73.30, right here. No, Daniel, I'm not. This is a do or die level. I am not committing anything yet. I will let the market decide and then I will follow. It is very sensitive here. It is eventually, I think it looks like it's going to go back up to 77.70, but today it might retrace. So the word might is not encouraging for me to commit. I don't like, you know, I have to see what the market wants to do. It will depend on the movement. It will depend on the attraction levels. We might be able to catch a scalp just like yesterday within a few ticks to see a directional trade. So today it's a do or die level. Here's what I think it's best. If we go below 74.20 CL, below 74.20 can be a down trend towards 73.40. Okay, so now on crude, below this line 74.20 area right here, we could have the crude probably coming down all the way to 70. Yeah, here. Okay, that's what we see for now. It has to poke. Yeah, it's looking below this upper line. It looks weaker. Below this lower line or the middle line, the blue line, it weakens more. So let's see what's going to happen. Okay, that's that. Gold. Gold again, untouchable. Look at longer term. Untouchable. Don't have much at this time. I will try and find a scalp on the crude. And this is what we see so far on crude. And up is this way. It's too big. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we can get something out of it. On NASDAQ, um, most of the attractions lower. Huh? Is it really? Where's NASDAQ? NASDAQ 74, 73.14 is a good stop loss. NASDAQ, I see it coming down, but with the stop loss no bigger than 73, I would say 13. It is kind of not random, but I don't recommend trading like that. But it is, I can see it coming down to these prices right here, arrow, which is 72.91. I would like to, make it official in terms of a trade call, but the market is still yet to open within the next few minutes, so I will leave it for now. But I see it coming down to these prices, the Nasdaq right here. Morning, Michael. Camille, good morning. Nasdaq test. Do you folks have the same price? Somehow my chart stopped. Oh no, it's moving. YM. NQ looking bearish. Attraction towards 72.90 level. Might change at the open, which is 9:30. So careful. YM, I'm looking at YM. Hey, good morning, Michael. Looking at the YM, we have to YM 24854 area is our do or die. This subtracted for now 2 words. 24750. 24680. So now we have I just posted these two on NASDAQ and YM. We said YM it's a do or die. So if it could go up from here, if it comes back down, we have this price and we have this price. It all depends on the how will happen at the open. Morning, Scotty. Morning, Dion. No, I guess nothing there. Copper, careful, it might come back down again. I mentioned we have different levels on copper. One of the main levels is going to be very low, and it's going to be 2.7 area. So I also mentioned to Daryl, careful, after 2.88, it might come back down, and it exactly did. He was holding a runner towards 2.88 according to my directional call on what was it? What day? Thursday?
It was Thursday. Actually, when you were out for break yesterday, I was talking to the room and telling them about I was holding it to that level too. So, you know, if they wanted to get in at that point in time and it came right to that level by what, 1 or 2 ticks.
Good morning, Zoltan. If that is your real name, the last name Kiss, and first name Zoltan, you gotta be my friend. We have to connect, man. That's a nice name. Really? That's nice. Is Kiss short for anything? Ah, but Zoltan, it doesn't mean small. Zoltan is way bigger than small. Nice name. So we have the initial top-down on the instruments. I'm looking at RTY now. My God, it's sitting right on a do or die level. Um, RTY 1713 area is our do or die. And same thing with RTY, the Russell. Okay, we have attractions here, or it's going to go up. It's a do or die level, so I would say it's attracted to 1694 level. Anybody shorted the Nasdaq by any chance? Any students saw this opportunity? I didn't want to call it short because of, I mentioned I was about to call it, but I said I don't want to make it official. 14 would have been, or 13 would have been your stop, but it was slow, and I'm afraid, at the open would have maybe spiked up. But if anybody took it short, it was very, very tempting, and I see it getting attracted to these levels more. So for now, we have to wait to find a good entry point. And here are my analysis on the crude, on the all of them typed and explained to students and whomever has access to Slack. Morning, Balraj. Harish, good morning. For both too, even when you're in the room, you'll get the same signals on your mobile or on your computer. Chirac, Chirac. Good morning. How do I call out trades? I would say, you know, we have a long here and we have a short here, and this is the entry, this is the stop. Yes, Daniel, yeah, I mean, listen, counting the ticks should be something, you know, shouldn't be your main thing to join the room, really. It's the trial. You see if you like it, if you see the value. Yes, you know, you might see thousands of ticks anywhere claimed, but if you join the room and if you see that it's not for you, just trying to make a point. So yeah, any trade I call between the room and Slack is counted, win or lose, it's counted. Um, do you trade primarily after open? Well, 9 a.m. to 12 in the room, 4 days a week. And you know, the rest of the time is whenever I'm in front of my computer watching the markets. If there's anything, I will update it via Slack. Where is it? We don't have a trade book, Chirag. This is a room for basically for education and trade calls that students would take. Members who are with me, I will advise them what to do and what to take, and it's up to them. I would suggest also stop losses, and if we get stopped out, I'll count it. If we, you know, get the first target, etc. So, you know, I offer trials for people to see if they like it or not. Do you keep performance record of the room calls? Yeah, we have it in the on the website. Let's see. The market is about to move. How do to summer up calls? We have the we have the track on the website, and we have the videos of the calls and how we call them. We have it also on Slack. The room is primarily designed to educate and teach and guide. The trade calls are a bonus, and I guide the members. But in terms of track, we have everything on the website. Look at it. It's we offer trials for people to come and see and test the thing, test the room. I don't want to get people in just to follow the calls. This is a complete new attitude towards trading. So I want you to see the long-term benefits of this. All the indicators that we have are based on volume and based on markets movements, the tape. The Nasdaq is pushing lower. I don't want to miss. Oh, I misspelled something in my email. I put yeah. I sent an email and I misspelled something. I feel bad. Good morning, Brad. All right. The YM is breaking below the lower level here. Let me see if I can have an entry. I will see a good entry point. NASDAQ already gone down. It's going to be very tough to find an entry on the NASDAQ the way it's going. Maybe YM if I find a good entry point. I don't have anything yet. 7.5. No, leave it. Yeah, the NASDAQ is gone. Here's an example, folks, of the trade calls. Who asked me, Abby or Abe and Chirag. For example, when the Nasdaq was at the top, 73.10 area, right here, I said it's going to come back down with the stop loss no more than 73.13, but it was not official, so I'm not going to go ahead and count it. I said, if anybody wants to benefit from it, I'm just worried about the open. And this is the attraction, and I put the attraction levels here. You see this, Chirag, Abby, or Abe? You heard me saying that, right? So I'm not going to go ahead and count this trade. It's gone 40, 50 ticks in my favor if I had taken it or if I had called it. But I did not call it officially, so I'm not going to go ahead and count it. Doesn't make sense, right? Even, on crude, if it comes back down and if I don't call it officially, I'm not going to count it. It has to be officially called with an exact stop loss entry. Again, entries will vary between students and between anybody who takes these trades. We call this a trade call room. Okay, so I'm calling out the trades. Of course, I recommend nobody touches anything, nobody trades anything unless they know and they go through the process. We have a very comprehensive membership and members area where it teaches you exactly everything about volume and how to deal with it. Yesterday, no. Yesterday, see, this is the YM trade, Abby, or Abe, sorry. Keep calling you Abby. YM trade was, I said it's going to go up. I didn't call a trade. Crude was a trade. The crude was, I said 73 scalp, and hopefully it will continue to be a swing. And that's exactly what happened. It was an exact trade. I suggested a scalp at 73. A scalp, of course, starts with maybe no more than 5 ticks stop. And I said take small profit, 5 to 6 ticks, first target on 2, and then leave a runner to 74.09. It's in the video. So yes, but YM, although it did go in my favor, it was not a trade call. It has to have an entry and it has to have a stop and targets. You're welcome. I am waiting, folks. The market is not stable. I mentioned crude is do or die, 74.40, right? Look at this. First thing I mentioned, crude is 74.40, do or die. And also, folks, for those who are not familiar with our style, I would put levels and trades on Slack so you can get them on your mobile. The levels and trades on Slack. Just like you see here, Slack, you can get it on your mobile if you're a member. Also, you can get it as a trial between now and Thursday. And the levels are here. Levels and trades. CL below 74.20 downtrend you mentioned in trade call section. It's yeah, we have to wait. We have to wait. It has to break decisively, and it's a do or die level. It's not our trade point. It's a do or die level, meaning above it you look for longs, below it you look for shorts. But basically, what I said, 74.20 here, below 74.20 is going to be exactly more weak towards 73.20, like 100 ticks down, 73.30, 73.40. So for now, the market is just going back and forth. That's why I don't commit. And I suggest that nobody commits until you find a good entry point when the market settles. Here's the thing, folks. I don't go and call out trades every time the market moves. Okay, I will wait for a proper opportunity. We don't do a lot of trade calls, maybe one or two a day. We averaged maybe 30 trades last month, right, Daryl? 30? The whole month? So.
Yes, sorry. Oops.
That's fine.
Yes. Sorry about that. My father-in-law was just in here, and I saw they came to visit. And sorry, guys, I didn't mean to be distracted. I was talking to him.
No,
yeah,
that's fine.
We had trade calls last month. It was 30 to 35. Yep.
Yeah. So we don't do, every time the market moves, we go nuts and we go, crazy. No, we don't. I like scalping, but scalping is not practical because by the time I will type the trade and I will call it and the first target is gone. But sometimes I will see a scalp, I'll suggest it, and I will call it immediately in the room. But it has to be decided like a few seconds ahead or a minute or two ahead. Did you say yesterday that you can also get Slack on your computer for when the trading room is closed? Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's a mobile and desktop application, both. Okay, where's my YM? I would love to see a trend shift on YM from here. Maybe a little bit higher, one more high from here, maybe, if I can get it. Or maybe we missed it altogether. I see the YM to be sitting at a last point of defense now. Let's hope we can get something out of it. The YM is very attractive. Oh my God, it's very attractive for a short. Nasdaq is already gone, about 70 ticks, 65 ticks from the price I suggested, which was 73.10. But again, it was not official, so I cannot really do anything. For now, YM. If I call this the trade on YM, stops cannot be above 24875, but I'm waiting. Okay, 2475 is our stop loss for now, but no, leave it. No, too hesitant. No, I'm not calling it. YM looks very weak. But no entry point at this time. It's going to that last point of defense, 24889, YM 24889, possible short. Okay, possible short. Two 4889 on YM is a possibility for a short. I don't commit because if it breaks, it's going to be very bad. It's going to go much higher. I mean, if it breaks it decisively, but if it breaks it within a few ticks, it still has hope. But I will have to see if it stabilizes so I can call it. For now, we're good. Just waiting. The market has to come to me. I don't like chasing. Hey, hey. Crude, not doing anything yet. What do I mean by do or die? It means, what I mean by it is careful. Above it, it's strong. Below it is weak. Of course, this is not a trade call, but careful. Just know that above it and below it. Sometimes it might just hover around it. If I don't see a trade or if I don't see a good level, I don't call it, so I leave it alone. It's dangerous, yes. I don't like it because you're just guessing, and I don't like to guess. I have to be sure, and of course, not every trade will succeed, but if I fail, if the trade fails, I know I am at the level where, very small stop, very small risk. So, for example, I'm looking at a short, on YM, right? And I am afraid that the stop losses are at this time around above 90. So I didn't want to call it earlier. Above 90 are the stops. So nothing is clear yet. I'm just waiting for the market to go, and then 24,900 might be the stop. But for now, if I miss it, I miss it. That's fine. I'm expecting it to come back down aggressively if it goes below 50. For now, I don't have any short, but if we go to this price, see this? YM24889 possible short, which is where the line is. So the stops will be above that, maybe around 900, 10 ticks or so. So I didn't want to call it earlier because the stops would, if we call it now, if I call it now, the stops are bigger, 3 times bigger. Anybody doing options, they don't care about this, right? They don't care about a small stop. So they can do this in options, correct? Since the stop loss is, above this line around here, if I want to call this YM, if I don't get it, some people might use options because below this blue line, 50, it's going to drop faster, most likely. Did you take it? If you are on a trial, I don't recommend that you take any trades. Just follow, pay attention. Trial is for you to understand what we do, ask questions. Market is not kind. The market is not easy. You have to pay attention, and you have to be very, very patient.
Watch that ADD video and paper trade it, guys.
Yes.
One of the things that you will also notice about Simon, he will call out levels, but we don't count them on our trade calls. Another benefit of the room. I mean, eventually you'll get to a point that if you want to take a trade, the levels hit 80, 90% of the time. But until that point in time, learn to just paper trade it. Understand as Simon is very, very compassionate about stop losses and your risk. And you got to know your risk.
Anybody shorting the indices, folks? By any chance? Options, ETFs? You're waiting, John? Yeah. I might be missing this whole move on NASDAQ specifically and YM. We still have some hope on RTY. Maybe it's going to go up for a good entry point. Maybe I can find something. No, we don't trade like that. Daniel, you're not a member, right? We don't put orders ahead of time. I mean, us, maybe you can do it. You do whatever you want to do. That's your account. But for me, if it touches this level here, this is a very, very top of the move. If it breaks it, it could go higher. So when it gets to that price, Daniel and everybody, I would need to know if the market is going to honor within maybe a second or two. Okay, you have to. That's not what I don't like pending orders, and I don't do pending orders. I don't recommend them. You have to wait. When the market gets to that level, then you wait and see what's going to happen for like a second or two, and then. I call out, yes. I call out market orders, yes. When I call out a trade, this is when I call it. But if you stay with us, this week you will understand more. Yesterday I called out the crude long, right? Exactly, John. Very good. Yeah. I mean, relax, sit back. My idea is, folks, my idea is for anybody who wants to become a member, find out if this is good for you, because you might be looking for somebody to call out a trade for you, every single trade. You don't want to learn. You don't want to get involved in any kind of education, and that's not us. Mine includes education. You have to learn. I want you to become somebody who understands markets dynamics. Without understanding markets dynamics, you will continue being dependent on somebody else. I know you heard this from a lot of people, a lot of different trade rooms, trade educators. Therefore, I'm giving you a trial every month, 1 week, or 1 week of trials, and you can ask questions. Unless you understand markets dynamics and see how the market moves and try and figure it out ahead of time. Like before the market moved, we figured out it's going to come back down to these levels, for example, right? On these indices. And we examined we realized what is the duo and die level, etc. So you have to figure the market out before it starts moving. That's the main thing. And then find entries and then find your stops. Until then, you'll be dependent on somebody else. Yes, we call out trades, and we've been very successful in finding good trades because we're patient. All I need to do is find a couple of trades a week. That's all. You can learn to find scalps as well. You can do 4 or 5 trades a day. using our scalping technique, but our scalping technique is not suitable for me to call it in the room. I can suggest it. We can find levels. You'll find students here talking about scalps from this level, from that level, and we can talk about it. But sometimes it's too fast for me to call it and type it, and it's too fast. Now, see, we got to this level here, and I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting, and I don't like it because look what do we have now, 24900. My SAL indicator said, no, wait, maybe that will be a good rejection level, right? Waiting. I'm gonna, even if I miss it, that's fine. But I don't like it so far because if I put a stop loss at 24,900, it might be taken. And if I miss it, I miss it. That's fine. That's why we don't do pending orders. If you have done pending order at this line, you need to maybe take profits immediately, a few ticks at the first target, and then have a stop loss above it or at 24,900. It is about patience and not rushing into it. Yeah, I see 900 as well. And these levels are not random. See, it bounced back down. Okay, let's get ready for a possible short now on YM. Just trying to find if there is a good entry point. Too fast. We have two levels, 900 and 07. I see that too, Brad. These SAL levels are very important to start with a scalp. Folks, I did not call it. I was waiting for one more burst to 900 area. But nevertheless, you see the levels and you see the attractions and you see the possibilities. I try to get in with the least risk possible. Sometimes it's it's too strong. The trend is too strong for me to be comfortable with a reversal call right at the top. But I was able to spot it from this line. It worked. See this line? It brought it down, and then the 900 also brought it down. However, nothing so far. Anybody took it short and by any chance? Okay. What ETFs? Brad, you took it as a scalp or are you gonna leave it? No, I didn't recommend it at that level. It did not touch 900. In and out. Okay, good. No, it still has some. I can see some a little bit, maybe one more burst. By the way, between now and 10:30, we might find something. Otherwise, I will leave it. I'll leave it alone. It's becoming. It's playing very tough. I'm just waiting. See, the market is just crazy. Look at that. Next level is going to be around maybe 13, 12, 13. By the way, you have to understand this level here. When I put it on YM, I said it's a do or die level. So careful. At this time, between this line and the upper line, we are still strong. So I will leave it alone for now, folks. We wait. We wait. We wait. Market is moving very fast. Um, I don't think it's tradable. Anybody comfortable with the market with these kind of moves? Not me. Patience is key. Yeah, in and out, you're good. If you focus on one instrument like Brad, he focuses on Nasdaq, in and out. Okay, here's the crude coming down. I'm expecting it to turn bearish below this lower line. I know you guys are scalpers. I know. Um, Let me see. Where are you? Where are you, YM? What is preventing me from calling this YM short? You never trade these round numbers. Well, some people actually thrive on these round numbers. I mean, either. I don't like. I mean, I don't care about numbers, round numbers or whatever. I care about volume, profile. I care about the confirmation. Yep, it hit and it bounced down. You see? Yet I did not call it. Remember, I said earlier, above this line is going to turn strong. See this arrow? And we might find some weakness on top to bring it back down because it's really attracted to a lower pricing. It is very difficult to hold back and not trade unless you train yourself. Once you train yourself on letting it go, you will become a different trader. So watch that video, folks. Some of you are just anxious to click, or waiting for me to call something, and they will probably consider anything I say a trade. No, it's not. The trade will be clear. I will say, let's go long, let's go short, and this is the entry, this is the exit, this is the stop loss. And I don't care if I miss it. If it doesn't come to my level, I'll miss it. The only thing that is preventing me from calling this, officially calling this YM short, is because I see possibilities to go to around 12-13 area before it comes back down. Meaning my stop loss now is changing all the way to 20 area. So even if I miss it, then I'll miss it. Plus we have possibility that Nasdaq, sorry, not Nasdaq, the 1030 market might be in effect. So we wait for 1030 reversal, might change. Furthermore, I also see reasons for the market to come back down because of this. Look at these DRLs. All the DRLs are accumulated here. These are also based on very strong volume and reversal levels, which means they are attracting the market towards them sooner or later. You see this? If I don't see confirmation, folks, I will let it go. This is the final area that if it pokes it higher, it might continue up until we find something else. Meanwhile, I could not find even a good entry long. If you're seeing the market going back and forth, and if you see me, just waiting and not committing, I think you should appreciate it because I know I can see it ahead of time. My indicators, the ones that I created, are telling me we have now 15. 15 now is in the play. 10 and 15. I can see it. Look, let me show you something. Studies. I'll go to my Sal, and I'll change it to 20. So I want to see 20 levels, 20 consecutive levels, not 10. No, 30, sorry. You see? I see more now. So all these are based on volume. So based on, there's, in this SAL indicator, there is a tape embedded inside it. And that tape, besides the volume, because there's a tape and there's the volume indicator embedded inside it, it will tell you the attraction levels. What is an attraction level? Hold on. These are my attraction levels. I know what is an attraction level. An attraction level, this indicator, we have a tape, like bid and ask ladder embedded inside it, and we have the volume embedded inside it, and a few other factors such as our indicators like the DRLs and the power lines. But mainly attraction level is when you have major players in the market, they put orders at one level. For example, 10, 24.10, 24.910 here, and maybe on NASDAQ 72.77, which I said earlier. But when the market comes to it, they will fill these orders, and let's say the buyers will dissipate, and then now sellers are in play, or maybe taking profit. Regardless, either sellers are attacking now, or if there's a profit taking, the market will retrace. When the market retraces, this is your at least first target, and hopefully will continue down in your favor if you're looking for a big move. So if this coincides with the volume profile level, that's a double check. If this coincides with the market profile and a DRL, that's a triple check. So that's why I'm waiting for confirmations based on volume profile. 24.9, yeah. Not yet. I am just waiting because I'm telling you, look at these attraction levels. You have to wait. And there might not be a reversal at this time. I'm waiting. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I could do. And you see, as soon as these attraction levels are taken, the market retraces. See that? It took one and it retraced. See that? And it's going to take another one and it will retrace. All the time. It will take another one. You see? Now we have more. So you have to be very careful. That's why I said possible short. It worked for a few ticks earlier at YM. All the levels that I mentioned, they work for a few minutes, for a few seconds, for a few ticks. But I didn't call any of them because I don't see a proper stop loss. Okay, last point of defense. I think we hit the last point of defense right here on top. So I'm looking for shorts now. Okay. 10:30 might be a change of a direction. So we wait, possible, right? And I have 24920 m resistance in this area here, big resistance. Possibility here, short possibility. And just a possibility, folks. Nothing is called so far, just levels and directions and nothing else. Any questions? I'm waiting for something. Uh, crude is coming lower. I'm hoping for something on crude. Who's comfortable with the YM? I'm not. This is the last point of defense. Actually, let's see if we can get 35 level or 30 level. 35 to 40 level. I like on YM for a quick from, I would say here, 30, 32, 33. From here, quick scalp, and then hopefully it will stay in our favor. But not yet. We have not gotten that level yet. Probably a few ticks missed by a few ticks. I'm looking for around that pink or a magenta line on top here and this blue line. So this area here between the top of this box, 30, 32, 33. Not yet. Of course, I have to call it, so I don't see it yet. I have to see it. Just heads up. Um, um, well, I want to get if I call this trade short, I want to get 10 ticks first target. But then stop loss would be around 40 if we get something here around 30, 32. But then eventually I want it to come down to, according to what I mentioned earlier, YM attraction. We said YM is attracted to, look here, these two prices, which are much lower. Are you short already, Brad? 25? What is 175-ish? Oh, what about YM? Oh, NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I see targets here, 72. NASDAQ, if you're short on NASDAQ, Brad, I'm looking at targets here. 72, 70, 72. I mentioned them. 72, 90, right here. And lower. 72, 72, 70. NQ tracked it to 72.60 area. 1030 is key. $24,905. It might come lower if you want to buy YM, Chirac. Do you see these attraction levels? And that's a very quick scalp. YM still have strength. If these attraction levels are left alone, we can find a swing short towards them. Good job, Chirac. You're scalping, I'm assuming, right? Very good. Crude is gone below this level, so again, we have to wait. Yeah, the crude is weaker below this box, just like I mentioned first thing in the morning. I put it up here on Slack too, so yeah, I did my top down in the morning, and I mentioned below this line is going to be weak on crude, above this line is going to be strong. So weakness is now the thing is very weak, the crude. The YM is refusing to give me that entry. Yeah, I'm looking at 30, 32, 33. I need to take a very quick break. I'll be right back, folks. Just a very quick break. I'm back. Nasdaq might be forming a short. Let's go short on Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, I would say NQ T1. I would say tell 12 ticks only, so I can secure my stop. If it stops me out, that's fine. This is the level that this is the last point of defense that I see. YM, I'm looking at YM. If Nasdaq stops me out, that's fine. It's very strong. YM, I'm looking at 30-32 area. Come on, YM. I'm looking at Nasdaq again. It might be a bit stronger than what I thought, but this is the last point of defense that I see for this morning. Trying to see attractions. Yeah. I don't like a Nasdaq at this time. T1, two-third of the Nasdaq. Get out with any profits if you can. If you have 3 contracts in, with any profits, get out. Just leave one. Okay. Meanwhile, the YM touched 30 and it bounced down. So basically 10 is okay for first target. 73.10 is good for T1. Just to reduce the risk. It's a very high and its momentum is against us, but this is the last point of defense. That's it. We're good. We're good. No, T1. T1. Target 1. Just to reduce the risk. Because I see the momentum to be against us. However, this is the last point of defense. So it's a very high. 15 is my stop. right? I pointed here. So 1 point, if you got it at 11, I don't know if we got it higher. Some of you probably got it higher. 11 or better is your entry. So if you got it at 11, for example, you made 1 point on the first two. It touched it twice. So I didn't like it, so I thought, managing it better by exiting 2/3. No, I'm not gonna commit. I'm not gonna commit to a trade and keep the stop loss open if I see risk. So I would recommend exiting with any profits. I recommended 10 for the first target. So if you got 2 contracts out at 1 point, that is 4 ticks. That's 8 ticks. And then if you got 11 entry, 3 points stop out on 1 contract, that's 12 ticks. So it's still, not a bad risk considering we're looking for big moves, right? And that's how I look for. What do I look for? Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. We look for big moves like this that start with a very small stop. And if it fails, like just this one, at least the risk is contained or the loss is reasonable. Make sense? I mentioned 73 or better. Folks, it's all about risk reward. It's all about making sure that you don't have random stops. I said the Nasdaq momentum is against us, so I recommended an exit. Anybody got entries above 11, 73.11? Twelve. Okay, so you got more than 1 point on the runner on the first target, right? Okay. You see how I changed my mind about target 1? I said 12 ticks, but then I realized I see the volume and I see the momentum, and I realized no, 12 ticks will be a bit high for this one, a bit riskier. So let's get only 1 point. Worst case 1 point. Some of you got more. Gabriel got almost 2 points on the first target. Abe, you were asking me about how I call trades. Did you follow this trade call that I made on NASDAQ? That's how I make my trade calls. It has to be clear with entry, with exits, with stops. I think the YM will come back down, Daniel. but I still cannot find a safe stop. I am itching just like you, man. I'm itching to short it, really. And eventually it will come back down. But if I don't see a stop, Daniel, I leave it. I leave it to the students. Some of them might just see it as an options trade, like short-term options, daily options. Some of them will see it as an ETF. But for me, I'm focused on members and their bottom line. I don't want to find a trade that has 50 ticks risk, or I can find those, but I don't want to do that. I want them to learn how to pick the best entries. For example, this NASDAQ, I want them to learn, don't get married to a trade. If you see the volume is going against you, don't hope. Take some profits or get out. And that's what I did for NASDAQ, right? It might be so far we just anxious to find a trade, but relax. The market eventually will go according to my top-down analysis, believe it or not. It's almost every day I do kind of top-down analysis. The market will go at the end of the day. You will see the arrows that I plotted. You will see the market gone according to these. But it's not an easy move. It's zigzags. It goes up and down. Are you short on YM, Daniel? Okay. I will take a short break, folks. I need to refill my tea. Maybe have a bite to eat for a few minutes. I'll be back. Just a few minutes, folks. Audio, video, we good?
Good, good, good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, what is with this market? So far, folks, just for you to know, officially just one trade call, and that was overall just a few ticks in loss, right? Right?
Correct.
By the way, it ended up coming down nicely, about 20 ticks or so, right? But the stop loss was hit after taking the first target, and then it went down. By the way, some of you might ask why Simon is looking for a short. Meanwhile, the market is going up. Um, I am not, insisting on the short. If it comes to me, I'll take it. First of all, the market is going up. For example, on the YM, look how ugly it is. You see this? It's almost consolidating. Nasdaq initially came down very fast, um, as you see here, and then went back up. RTY below the line, as you see here, this was our do or die level. It dropped down. So there's nothing I can do if the market is crazy. I will just sit back and relax. I'm not willing to risk more than I should just for me to prove a point, right? I'm not here to prove a point that, um, the market will follow my direction. If it doesn't follow, so what? I would look like an idiot, right? Or, some of you would lose a lot of money. But that's not how we trade. It's not about proving a point. It's about waiting patiently, uh, uh, making sure that this is there's a logic behind every time you take a trade or you see a trade. Uh, Nothing random. Don't react to the market movement. Be proactive. Wait for it. Anticipate it first. Nasdaq now I see 1850. Brad, do you see that too? 1850, yes. I don't know, that's a typo maybe, 56. Yeah, it's still strong. Um, my God, I am itching to find a short on the Nasdaq too, but folks, it's not, it's going to be random, and I don't do random. Where did it stop? 17, okay. I know, Brad. Nothing we can do at this time, folks. It could go down, it could go up. I'm expecting down on YM and Nasdaq, but so far it's not doing anything. You look at the Nasdaq. Look, there's nothing really. This was the morning open when we opened the room. Expected it to come down. It came halfway through. It went back up. So it's really not tradable. Like if you think that Simon is boring, I might be, but for a reason. Look, if you think YM, think about it. Same thing. YM, I expected it to go up strong above this line. This is from early morning, right? First, when we first opened the room, my top down, and it was up. I could not find any proper easy entries, but it went up. And then I'm expecting it to come back down from this bubble here, from this box, and that's what it did. But it's hovering. I have a reason for me to hold back. I see ahead of time, really. I see what's going to happen because I see volume and I see entries and I see attraction levels. Crude, same thing. I said it's going to be strong above this box, and that's what it did. and below this box will be weak, and that's what it did. So RTY, I said weak below this line, and I typed everything. Like I gave it to you folks in typing too, and in text. But sometimes you really can't find a proper entry. The only entry that I had, a proper entry, was around here, this way. This was my proper entry, around here. But it still gave us only first target, and that's after I changed the first target from 12 ticks to 4 ticks, 1 point. Some of you got more than 1 point, of course, if you got in at a better entry. But when the market is not safe, I would rather be boring, right? Boring will not make you lose any money.
Patience, 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 patience.
We wait. Market is not behaving properly. We wait.
And while we wait, we're looking at getting a list together of people that want to take swimming lessons from Simon.
Swimming, yeah. Boring rules. Yeah, you have to. I mean, sometimes you just want to trade, but if it's not there, at the end of the day, when sometimes you see me not taken any trades or not called any trades. So by the end of the day, you will look at the market, you will see just went back and forth, and you would say, how did he know? I didn't. The volume tells me. Starts January, yes. That's more of a skating on our lake right here next to us.
There you go. Yep, one thing that people will understand with Simon, there's a difference between being productive and being busy. We don't do busy.
You don't get frozen lakes where you are, Brad, in January, do you? No. Oh man, we get frozen lakes where you can drive your truck on. Really. Now the market is moving. Look, took us by surprise. 24900. You are short. I bet you're short. I mean, 24900 on the YM. Careful. Possible long. YM. 24900. Possible long. It could start maybe with a scalp, but not yet. I'm not calling it yet. I have to make sure that we're good on that. Not yet, not yet, not yet. I don't see any confirmation, so leave it alone. There is the YM breaking down, Nasdaq breaking down. Um, you know, good job in the out. Very good. It is long now. Yes, I can see that. It's just exceeded 900 by a few ticks. I can see the long between these two lines is going to be very strong. The lower line, the YM between the lower line and the upper line is still strong. It has to break the lower line for more confirmation on the short if I want to grab a short or call a short. Okay. Don't be surprised if you see after all this huss and fuss and the back and forth. See that? You will find out the level that I plotted to be very strong. You know, there's a lot of noise that happens around these levels, but they end up getting honored within a few ticks, maybe exactly. Rivers, frozen rivers, yeah, that is unique. That's very unique, Scotty.
Hey, Simon.
Yes, sir.
Huss and Fuss, is that like Puss in Boots?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Man, this is Yeah, it is generous. It's dangerous, sorry. These. Well, I have never experienced the frozen river, but because we don't have rivers near us, we have one that is a bit far that freezes on the sides, but not the actual river in the middle. Ralph, are you short on Nasdaq? Okay. Um, Here, 7260, 7280 to 7260. These levels are very attractive. Oh. Well, Patrick, RTY is gone below that line. I don't have anything. Possible long, maybe? Let me see. You're tempting me. You're tempting me. Yeah, possible long from 1703 area. RTY support 1703 area. Maybe even a bit higher. I don't know. I don't like this. YM could go up from 1704 area up. I'm watching that possibility for now. Okay, we have a very small stop on here. Very small stop. 1703 is your stop on RTY. First target, just 6 ticks. That's all I want is 6 ticks first target. Okay. First target covered. I believe first target is covered on RTY. 1703 is your stop. For now. Again, I looked for only 6 ticks. I looked for 6 ticks because of the area where it's bouncing. It's not the safest in terms of stop. The stop is very small. So we had to start with a scalp. Okay, we had to start with a scalp. So if I get stopped out, it will still be another small win for us, right? And that's the best I can do in a market like this today. I mean, not another win. The first one was only first target, but the stop loss was a bit bigger, so we ended up with a minus a few ticks. This is the level. This is the final point of defense. It could be very difficult to hold, but again, If you managed it according to what I recommended, your first target is out, and now you're out completely. So basically just the first target and then out. The movement didn't hold, and you realized the stop loss was, the entry was 1703 here, zero point 0.7 or better when I first called it here, and the stop loss was 1703. Knowing 1703, if it was hit, it could come back lower. Folks, this might not, you might not understand this until you start, um, realizing how easy it is to lose a lot of money on 3 contracts, not knowing where your stop loss is. It's easy to recover from a 2-3 tick risk or stop, right? For example, this trade was +5 if you followed this entries, +5 ticks. Factor in whatever, if you have commissions, if you take in the trade live, if you have commissions, maybe you ended up with maybe 2.5 ticks or 2 ticks or 3 ticks profit. Okay, it's not something good, but that's much better than having a stop loss that is all the way down here and you end up losing it, or having an open trade, right? Same thing with the Nasdaq. I saw the trade. I called the stop loss. I called the first target, but then I changed my first target, knowing that the market will not go. It will be hard to break that. So we ended up with minus a few ticks after all. This was a plus a few ticks after all, right? And why did I say six ticks? Because I knew this price would be tough to break initially. So that's why I called my first target here. You see this? 1704.2 or point whatever it stopped. It was about 7 to 8 ticks move in our favor. But 6 ticks was filled if you followed the system, if you followed the call. Again, nothing to show for today. Just that, we were patient, we were able to see the market ahead of time, but not too many opportunities, right? That's different if you're a scalper. You can find different scalps here and there, and you can just take them, but it's so hard to find scalps. So this was the entry point that I was looking for. It did not initially work, but the market is very, hesitant today, so we have to wait. folks, at the end of the day, you will see why I've been very cautious. Downchain channels, are you doing the setup that we have, 20? Yeah, that means these are basically retracements and extensions that are you setting up according to what we do, right? Fibonacci numbers. These are basically automatic retracements um, that the markets is watching for. It's not only you who watches for. A lot of machines and trading bots are programmed to get in, get out with these extensions and retracements. So they hold up very nicely, especially if they match with profile, right?
Aren't Dogechain channel or Dogechain channels, aren't they tied to like Fibonacci a little bit?
Well, no, they are not. We actually choose the Fibonacci numbers. Um, yeah, you're setting. Yeah, my setting is 20. Yeah, they are not, but we set up 144, 233, 987, 1597 tick charts. We are getting back, maybe back up. Do you see why I'm cautious, folks? Look at the market. It's just back and forth. Look at NASDAQ, look at YM. It's just back and forth. It's only suitable for scalping. Today so far has been scalpers market. I was expecting big moves, and I'm sure Brad is happy today. So many scalps. So far, it has been a scalpers market. Nothing. I was expecting big moves. However, I'm able to see the levels, but look, the market is still, creating that noise around them. Yeah, it was not a good day for anything, but there was just scalping, nothing else. Maybe you did too much. 13 trades, 4 losses. Well, that's excellent, Brad. That's 9 winners. You should be in the profit nicely. Well, it's okay. I know you're very specific when it comes to scalping. Exactly, Patrick. Um, uh, I found it difficult to find stops. Therefore, you see me not enthusiastic unless I find a couple of good trades. Um, it depends on your interpretation of that knife. Let me see. 96, yes, 72.96. It might come back down. It might come back down. Yeah, sandwich time for me soon too. I'm waiting. Nice. Yeah, that's how you should do it. The market, you realize the market is not very good, so you smarten up. You say, okay, enough is enough, right? You're ahead. Yeah, see you tomorrow, man. Go golfing. Go golfing, man. Go golfing. Any questions, folks? Any final questions? We will have time tomorrow, Thursday. We will go over a lot of things. We'll go over. We shared some information with you yesterday. First of all, our members area has everything you need if you become a member. All the education is here. Level 1, Level 2, Level 3. Indicators are here. Everything you need is right here. Now, in terms of looking at the markets, for example, let me show you the gold. We don't look at just one. This is what I look for. Pay attention, please. Look, the gold. I look at weekly, daily. See that? Profile. And then break it down to 60 minutes, 30 minutes, etc. Look at that. See that? And we have the channels, and then I put the indicators on, such as the attraction levels, as you see, and other indicators that we have. So it's not one chart. What you see in front of you during the session is just basically for you to follow what we do. Also, pay attention to the website. We have our website. It has a lot of information that you need to learn. See this? If you go to the trial, this will give you a lot of details. If you scroll down, see this? It will give you details about volume profile, pressure points, dynamic indicators, access to Slack. There's a lot to learn. It's not just one thing, folks. It's a lot to learn. Here, I'm sending it to everybody. One main thing is no, not resources. Education is important, especially this first video, which is not the first, maybe second video from the left here, down. The man with the brain. It's important. This will show you why I am very patient and careful. So please pay attention to everything and ask questions. So today, if it doesn't work, exactly. Thank you, Patrick. Yes, it pays off. Did I close my gold? No. Patience pays off. Yes, Edwin. Well, France, pretty sure. Pretty sure France. They have a complete team. I follow their players. They have Griezmann. They have Umtiti is amazing in defense. If he's healthy today, he's going to be doing very well in defense. Um, I think France, man. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. What about you? Well, yeah. I mean, regardless of who you like to win, logically, France has a better team. Has a better team from anybody I have seen in the tournament, including Spain, which was my favorite. Very strong, complete team, disciplined. Um, very disciplined team. Russia did well, yes. Croatia is another good team. Very good team. Well, I am expecting a market breakdown, John, but it's playing with trader psyche for now, and maybe there's a lot of political things on hold. So the crude was also um, a downtrend below this lower line. If you see the first thing I pointed to on my Slack notes. So sorry, excuse me, I dropped my mobile. let's not forget, folks, at 9 a.m. I said crude below 74.20 here is going to be a downtrend towards 73.40, about, just under 100 ticks and moves. And that's what's happening. Look, but look at the move. Look how ugly this move has been. Look at that. But volume is volume. I mean, it will end up going according to what we see, what the volume is seeing. But sometimes you cannot catch these trades. What do you think, Daryl?
I think you are correct. You chase trades and you get bit. It's like being a dog chasing an ambulance or chasing a car. Guess what happens? Sooner you end up dead on the side of the road. Don't do it. Patience.
Exactly. Yeah. Folks, we're done for today. Sorry, Daryl.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're done for today. I think we did well in anticipating the market. We did well in avoiding some of the bad entries. And if we have not done anything today, no results today, that's fine. Tomorrow is a new day. Yesterday we had a nice runner for 100 ticks, 100 and a few ticks yesterday on crude. Today we did not get many. At the end of the day, look so far. Look at the moves on. Look at the moves on Nasdaq, sideways. So we don't expect. That explains why I have been very careful. Look at the moves on YM. It agreed with me exactly, up from this line, down from this line. It agreed to the tick, but yet there was no entries. Same thing on crude. It agreed to the tick. Same thing with YM. RTY. Thanks everybody for your patience, and I'll see you tomorrow. Edwin,
Yep, thanks everybody.
John,
Thanks, Simon.
Daryl, thank you, and Patrick, Brad, everybody, Scotty. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Just keep the patience, okay? Gary.
Gary's a Minnesota boy. Love it.
Nice.